Good evening, everybody. Coming to you live this Wednesday, the last day of April or March. Sorry, uh, with the last episode of Holotheatre for March. As always, I'm Dan Tartaglione, also known as DTartagOne. Uh, Normally, I have a co-host, but tonight we have two special guests. Our guests tonight are Chris Hall, also known as Jokerking, and Timo Dusel, also known as Dillen. Both of these are the finalists from the GEMPC. Thank you guys for joining me tonight.
Yeah, it's great to be on
Yeah,
again.
it's a pleasure.
And Timo, a special thank you to you. Who? What time is it over there in Germany right now?
After 3 a.m.
Ugh.
and when I woke up, I thought, oh, why I'm doing this? But yeah,
You're doing this because this
only
was
for you. I promised it, so I
you
do it.
did. Uh,
Yeah.
I do believe this was all your idea to come on to have both you and Chris on.
I have a lot of dumb ideas, but now this was your ideas. This was
No,
your idea.
you
While
volunteered.
we were playing, you wrote in Slack that we can come both.
I did, and I'm glad that you guys are on. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the GamePC tonight. We're going to talk about the OCS. We're going to talk. Next month is going to be an interesting month, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But you know what? Let's start with the GamePC. Again, both of you guys were the finalists. You both put on a spectacular show for the finals with Chris not going to say eking out the victory, but becoming the GEMPC champ this year. So again, Chris, congrats to being our GEMPC champ.
Yeah, thanks. An unexpected surprise, but a welcome one.
so how? So let's go back a little bit. So in the GEMPC, let's go through your path essentially. So can you go over like who you played?
Yeah, so I got off to a little bit of a rocky start. I was scheduled to play Aaron Kingery in the first round, but we had some scheduling issues. We weren't able to get that game in, so he conceded the match. So then I was on to Tom Struther, Gimp Tom, who is
Oof.
a very formidable
Yeah.
opponent. My career record against him is quite poor, I would say. I lost the first game horribly. I had my IE versus his Hitco, which normally I
Mm-hmm.
think would be kind of even, but he blew me out in that game. But then I came roaring back in the second game with Hyperdrive against his Hunt Down. I was able to barely advance there, and I got no relief as my next opponent was Connor Britton Stubley,
Mm-hmm.
another excellent player. That match, I played Hitco and Hunt Down, and I think I just got lucky with my deck choices there.
Mm-hmm.
Had really good tech cards for what he was playing, and it just kind of worked out in my favor. Um, and then I got Joe Olson. So just kind of the hits kept on coming with the bracket, and obviously I don't think I really need to talk about how amazing of a player Joe is.
mm-hmm.
He's terrific. He's a world champ for a reason. Uh, Kind of felt like against Joe, I was going to need to play my best decks and try to minimize mistakes and to have even a chance. So normally I don't like playing court because I feel like it's pretty easy to tech for it if you think
That's fair.
your opponent's on it. But against Joe, I strayed from that and did play court, and I don't think he put me on court at all based on him picking Watch Your Step. So that worked out well. And then we had Adam Trunzo after
Yes.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of another situation where I think actually I can't even remember how that went with Adam. I think I might have won both games in that one, or I might have lost the first one. Usually I lost the first game in a lot of these matches, so I wouldn't be surprised if I
Mm-hmm.
lost the first game there. But then I think I came back with Hunt Down, I feel like, and
Yeah, I want to say you came back with Hunt Down V against him.
Yeah, that sounds right. They was able to advance and then able to play Timo.
Well,
Timo can talk
let's talk about
about
that
our
in a
match.
second, because again, we have Timo here, and I don't want to leave him out. But I will say this: like, you played against top 25 people in each of your round. Like,
Yeah, there were lots of upsets throughout the bracket, except for whoever my next opponent was going to be. I felt like.
like I'll start off like you started off with Aaron Kingery. He was in the top 25. He was actually number 25. You then got to play Tom Struthers, who was number 8. He was the number 8 player. Connor, who was number 9. And let's not talk about Joe, because again, he's number 1 apparently. And then you had to play Adam Trunzo, who was number 20. So all of your opponents were in the top 25. That's astounding.
You never had to pick the side first, right?
Yeah, that was one decision I never had to make. It was a big weight off my shoulders.
I can imagine. Okay, so Timo, let's start with you. So you were the 22 player overall.
Yeah.
You started with Robbie Hendon. Go back, like, let's talk about that one really quick.
Yeah, this I didn't have to play because he decided that he didn't want to play. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe you did harass him a little bit too much in your show.
Whoa, I don't harass anybody. I'm a neutral party who...
You said he won't have a chance. I will leave it in my life. So, yeah. So I went on to round 2 against Silver Glen. I know him quite well from other games. And yeah, game 1 with Diplo, I lost against Hunt Down. It was a really cruel turn 3 beat down. I think I did quite a good job to keep the differential low after that turn 3 beats down to get to 12, him down to 12. And yeah, I thought, I mean, we played this matchup in pure entanglements against his old allies, and I think I could win this matchup, but I don't think that if he knows I'm playing IE, I would win it by more than 12. So I just went with Hunt Down V.
Okay.
Because I thought, yeah, this deck has a little bit more chance of, beat down potential and so on. And so, yeah, that's how I won the second game against Silver Glen. And then the next round.
In the next round, you played JJD, Jared Consker.
If I fall asleep, I'm sorry.
We'll keep you up.
Yeah. So JJD, this was the easiest for me to not only to play, and that I don't mean, but to prepare for, because I didn't know him at all. So I thought I just play what I want. And yeah, the first game went almost perfectly. I made a little mistake, but won by 25 or 27.
Okay, wow.
With Diplo against his main deck. I had, when I knew it went really well, I had the desire not to let him drain any force drain. And he didn't make any force drain at all in the one he made. I canceled with Tarkin's order. It's a hit, I mean. And then I put on the mimic. I mimicked a reaction.
Okay.
With my own drain that he thought I have another. It's a hit in hand maybe, and didn't drain a second time. And I took water for the second match because the differential was so high that I thought make some kind of pressure with losing him force with a water objective, making him forced to pay the 2 to let me deploy stuff for free because he can't afford to lose so force with that high of a differential. To get my battle order out fast with the ship to space. And that's how it went. I put in 2 another Gug, I think, because I thought the only way I could lose this game was to a beatdown. So, yeah. And
Nice.
I needed it. I needed this.
Yeah.
um,
And then
the next game I
your
think was
that was the game against Scott. And would you say this preparing for
yeah.
Scott was your hardest one?
I had the most time to think about it, and that's always a problem. And I thought, yeah, I play again what I want. But then I saw him writing in Slack that he wanted to have this whole history, as he wanted to see his whole history. And he talked in Slack with Echo-based Trooper how he can see his whole history. And I thought, man, I think he's checking for our matchups. And so I made the work as well. I went down my whole history. And I thought I saw almost every time I played against Scott was with my Rebel Strike team. So I thought, no, I won't play that. And I made a totally new deck based on Kingley's Legend with Blaster. Haven't had much experience with Legend, but I thought, yeah, this could be at least a little bit surprising. He surprised me as well with old school carbon chamber freezing non-flip version. So I lost the first by 8, but then I thought 8, that's good for my Imperial Entanglements, and I was so happy to see him playing Hyperdrive.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And then after that, you ran into Matt Lutz, CRG.
Yeah.
I think you had a good match against him. I forget how it went.
I lost the first as well. This was
Okay.
the first time I was able to pick the side first. I played light. What did I play? Oh man, it's too early.
Matt is in the chat. Matt, do you remember what you played against Timo?
I think All Allies. I played All Allies.
Yeah, I think it was Old Allies. I forget what the matchup was, but
The second game was All Allies.
okay.
The first game was
Hunt Down
did
V
I
versus Hitco.
oh yeah. So we basically only drain raced the whole time, and then I thought, who puts out the next battle ground? I did it, and I thought I can lure him in with my Emperor reacting to it and then counter beat. But he had pretty good answers for that, so he won the first again, and yeah, the second I think he just made a big mistake going to the 2 race and chamber, so could make a counter beat there. And
Yeah.
preparing, the first 2 rounds I prepared a little bit with Kirin Catwall,
Okay.
and then with the match with CRG, big shout out to Bastion. I wrote Bastion that I think he plays CCT. There's no better CCT player out there, I think, like Bastion. So I played with him. I did send him a deck list. I think I want to play this Old Ally list. He made some suggestions for improvement. Some of them did I work in. Some of them I thought are not my style of playing. So yeah. And in the last round, I also prepared a little bit with Silverglen. So he was my nemesis, but after that,
So you guys
we
made
talked a lot
peace?
of. Yeah, I think we did. I helped him a little bit with his Death Star 2 preparing for his league and Naboo League, and he helped me. So we talked about decks. We played, and yeah,
Awesome.
he is a nice guy. I thought he is not nice, but he's.
You warmed
Thanks,
up to him.
Justin. Thanks, Bastion. And one game with James Martin, but I don't want to talk too much. We're at the finals now.
Yeah. So let's go into those finals. So game 1, it was Chris, you played OA. Timo, you played CCT. So let's go into that game in particular. The one thing that sticks out in my mind is, Timo, you were able to take Chris out of space. Like, Chris, you went up to space. Seemed like you had, I want to say you had like Solo, Radis, Ray. It seems like you were able to fortify up in space, but Timo whittled you down and was able to knock you out. Like, I think that was the turning point of the game. Chris, you want to go over why, like, some of the thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that, in my opinion, early part of that game, I think just about every break that could have gone my way did go my way. I got lucky that he did not see my uh, Lost in the Wilderness, so I was able to play that on Shizor, which I always like being able to have cards like that on an unsuspecting victim. So that worked out well.
I mean, if you would have seen my face while playing the whole 4 turns, the first 4 turns, I was shaking my head, and this doesn't
Yeah.
go my way.
Yeah, I was going to say that
So
Lost in the Wilderness because Shizor was missing most of the game.
Whole game,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even bother to find him.
So yeah, I think that I certainly can't complain about how the beginning of the game went. I think I was able to find most of the things I wanted, except a rebel leadership when I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the other kind of two key mistakes with the second space battle. One was battling into it at all. I should have just fortified and kind of stayed alive in space. But the second was subtracting 2 from an attrition destiny that was harmless, that
Mm-hmm.
really wasn't going to have an impact. And then Timo had the close call to cancel it and draw a 5 instead of a 2, I think it was, which was able to clear all my characters off the
Yeah.
token, and that was pretty huge. I had to burn my Walkling to get solo back, and pretty much after that, it just went into cut diff the rest of that
Mm-hmm.
game.
And I will say this: like it, at one point, I know Timo, you were sitting there with Ellis and Hinthra. You were draining for 3, and then one for some point, it just went down to 2. And we all realized that it was a GEMP bug, but
We had 2 bugs,
yeah,
one
there was
in the second.
yeah.
Yeah,
So then Timo, you ended up winning game 1. I want to say by what was it, like 8, 9, or was it more than that?
I think 9
Yeah.
sounds right to me. Yeah.
It should have been 11. I should have delivered my
Mm-hmm.
prize.
Yeah.
But that's one point. If you play a deck you're not 100% familiar with IE, I can play in the sleep, basically. But this, I learned the deck watching Bastion playing against me, basically. And
That's fair.
that's when you lost your system. I knew this deck, this game comes down to who wins space.
Mm-hmm.
And lucky for me, you play Roach One and not Carillion Covert, so you were not able to shuttle forfeit stuff up
Yeah.
to space. And I thought, that's my chance. I used my turns to pull every space thing I would need for the one turn to turn the game around. And yeah, counted the force. I lost everything from reserve because I thought I knew what's in my force pile, and I knew how much force I need to activate to
Okay.
get this one chance to get him out of space, and it worked quite well. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a super solid game. It looked like for the most part. And then let's go into game 2. Game 2, Chris, you went with map, and Timo, you went with old allies. So, what do you think? Like again, Chris, you ended up winning this game and winning the GEMPC. But what do you think was the turning point for that game, especially for you?
I mean, I think it's kind of hard to reflect on one individual point. It'd be easy to look at the big battle that
Mm-hmm.
happened with the overflow, but I think really a couple turns before that, where he had burned his Hujix, I didn't think he probably had 2. Solo wasn't around for him to play it from Lost Pile. I felt like my chances of getting a beatdown in this game are pretty good. I just have to
Mm-hmm.
keep fighting with everything I got, and then hopefully he doesn't have enough tricks to keep that beatdown from happening.
so my turn 1 was basically dump. Yeah, my thought process was I have my second ray. I let him come to beat down my ray to know where his most dangerous stuff is to play around it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have not so much experience with that matchup because when I started playing on GAMP in 2019, map was basically not in
Yeah.
the meta, and I haven't played against this new map because I didn't want to go scout it. So I no private games I played against Map. So this I thought he could play Map, but I was not that familiar with that matchup. So this thought process was wrong because he had the guy which he can relocate his Kylo.
Yeah.
I mean, so. And I drew too high my destiny that he got rid of his characters, though he could deploy them again. So I basically lost Rey, I lost my Hoodchicks, I lost 2 force from losing the battle.
Yeah.
And then I lost my side, which I wanted to place on the other side,
Yes.
to have a side in between.
Yeah,
And
I know the chat was saying that you losing that the Starship Graveyard was extremely bad for you because
yeah,
you couldn't run around on Jakku. Like you were able to hold on to space, but again, you weren't able to run around on Jakku. Whereas Chris could just literally fortify on both of the 2 sites that were out. And
that's beautiful with Bastions. At first, you can think he's a little bit harsh sometimes with his comments or something like that. And if you make some spicy comment, you will get it back. You can be assured. But he always tells it how it is.
Mhm.
And he told me on Slack, what the fuck were you thinking? What? And I like that getting
Yeah.
getting my mistakes. Don't talk about this and that. If it was just a crappy play.
Mhm.
So yeah. And then I thought I have my solo. I can play it from Lost Palm, my Hoodchicks, everything safe. Decided to battle with 2 Destiny. He had too much tricks with a sniper, so I had to burn my feeble interrupt in the control phase, which I wanted to use in battle to cancel the weapon destiny. And the overflow was just too much to recover.
It does happen. So I will say this though, you guys actually played in the first big event essentially after the Set 14 release and the errata. So how did you guys feel going into the finals with the errata and the Set 14 being live on GEMP?
You want to go first, Timo?
I wanted to play before the errata. I wrote him, let's do it now, let's do it tomorrow. But he wanted to wait, and I thought, oh man.
I think my exact words is we should wait until after Holotheatre so they can hype it up.
Yeah, that's what you said, but everybody knows what you were thinking.
I appreciate
I was
that.
thinking
you were afraid of my entanglements.
You are 100% correct. There is no doubt about it.
Well, I'm going to say that.
And now I'm forced to play Bespin IE. Yeah.
So, do you think it was fair for the Set 14 and the errata to come out live with you guys having to play your finals in that, or do you think that they should have waited until you guys played?
In my opinion, I mean, Set 14, without trying to give anything away, I mean, it's been ready for a while.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there was some delays prior to launch, but I mean, it could have come out probably anytime in the 3 weeks before when it did.
Mm-hmm.
I had no problem with it. They don't have to wait for a single game to finish until they release errata. So we both knew the time. We both had 2 days to schedule. How do you pronounce it? To schedule the match. So no problems with that.
And
I would have loved to play before the errata, but then I might have would have worried about Hitko, which was really strong against my IE.
And that's a good point. So going in, did you guys? So I know Chris, you made a little bit different of a map. So we've seen the map with the starting interrupt that we most normally see. You went with prepared defenses and 3 effects. What made you choose that type of a map versus starting with Starkiller Base and the normal map that we're used to?
Sure. Yeah, I think so. A couple things. The first thing is I wanted to be able to play an extra effect, which I don't get with You know what I've come for, I think it is the other starting interrupt. So that was one thing. I wanted to play a third effect. And the other reason is Star Killer Base is a bit of a liability at Parsec 2 if you're going to play Kajimi,
Okay.
because of where the Parsecs are. Not to say that it couldn't have worked out, it might have, but I figured the chances of a Tantive or something else going there and just causing more harm than good was substantial. I also wasn't going to play any Star Killer Base. I wanted all the action to be on Jakku. And if you're not going to play any Star Killer Base sites, I don't know if Star Killer Base is really worth it. I ended up having plenty of activation for everything I needed. So
Yeah.
16 turn 2.
Yes, exactly. So going in and seeing that amount of activation, especially on turn 2, how do you guys like the new map with all that activation again on turn 2?
You want to go first, Timo?
I don't want to complain too much about a meta which is fresh. So yeah, it basically shapes the way you have to play against it. So basically, leaving one ray on ground against 16 force is a little bit stupid. I might have pulled her with my shuttle instead of the admiral to shuttle her down later at the other side. Leaving her in the chamber was also not good because you would have blocked the side she can walk out. But yeah, 16 force with so much stuff to pull.
Yeah.
Many people say they wanted to reduce auto setup and put out maps with a lot of effects to pull stuff, but yeah,
that's fair.
Have to live with it. It will get nerfed again. So, like in Hitgo, it will get nerfed that it's worse than ever before.
Yeah, I mean, I am in agreement with pretty much everything you said. I think I played map not because of any love for map or any kind of a sense of it being fair. I played it for kind of the opposite reason of that. I despise the deck, and I know how unfair it is. So yeah, I would be in favor of toning down some of how quick the deck is. For me, I prefer matches where the action's all at battleground sites. I am not a fan of decks that have 12 non-battleground sites on the table between the two decks. So that's just a preference. Obviously, I'm not in D&D, but I would hope that we can find decks that have more spread with battleground locations, like Diplo, like IE, like some of these other decks, and how to incentivize spreading and having, more battleground locations out. I think is an interesting problem to have.
Okay, I like that. I like that answer myself. So I know both of you are signed up for the MPC, and I will say this though, really quick. I know I did promise today that I'm going to be giving away one entrance to the MPC. That's going to be the last thing we do. So please make sure you stick around the whole hour, and we'll be doing the drawing a little bit later on. If you haven't signed up, if you have signed up, I'm sorry you're not eligible, but I'll take care of you guys later on. Don't worry. So, so with the MPC coming up next year, how do you guys feel like you're going to prepare for it?
I think for me, I think that in some ways a little bit easier because you don't have to prepare for any one opponent. I mean, you know the bracket, but you're gonna have to stick with your deck for the whole day, right? Or your deck for the whole day, so you can't change decks around. And I think in some ways that makes it a little bit easier because you can just focus on playing what you think is the best deck for the meta.
Okay.
So in that sense, I think it'll be nice.
And Timo?
I think the same. So you don't have to play the mind game. What is he playing? What shall I play? Shall I counter him? Or shall I counter what he thinks he counters my deck? And so on. So yeah, the same. You can predict the bracket, but nobody would have predicted me and Jokerking in the finals.
Certainly
not.
I
predicted it.
No,
That's because so I won the prediction
Wow.
game because I thought I predicted that I'm gonna win.
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. I will say this: you guys didn't pick me, so I didn't pick you.
That is true.
yeah, because you are always 0-3 in OCS or something like that. So
But you know what?
That's a good segue.
Speaking of the OCS, this March OCS has actually just ended, and I want to say it just ended. So congrats to our two top winners, Justin Desai and Paul Myers, for making it really quick. Let's see where my guests actually finished.
Right next to
Jokerking,
each other.
you finished 8-4 at the 19th spot, and oh look at this, Dillen, you finished right above him at also 8-4.
yeah,
So congrats, guys, on played really well. I'm not going to say
and
where I
congrats to the ones who qualified. Paul, shout out to Paul.
Yep, and Justin.
Yep.
So congrats to both of those guys.
Justin, yeah, I don't know Justin, but Paul, we Marco Polo a little. Its favorite app.
I will say this though, Werfs was the unlucky one here. Werfs also went 11-1.
Yeah.
His opponent's win percentage was just slightly lower than Paul's. So, Werfs, you will make it eventually. I know it. But
Yeah, I think Desai got there on the last day, or maybe the last day or two.
So and then
I saw him at 10-1, and I in my mind the March already ended, and I thought, oh man, how unlucky! He has such a big opponent win percentage and didn't finish his game, and yeah, but he had another day.
So again, we got the MPC coming up later in April. 35 people have signed up. We have room for 55 more people. I did unfortunately drop out because I will be running the streams as well as getting ready for a move, hopefully towards the end of May. Again, I will be paying for one person to sign up, and please sign up. It's going to be fun. The NPC is probably one of the most popular events. Normally, I would be playing in it, but
there's no OCS this month, so you got no excuse.
You're 100% correct. There is no OCS, but you know what replaces the OCS? The retro event. We are currently at 122 people signed up for the event. That's a lot of people, and we actually have the full list of players because the
no
event,
OCS in April.
No OCS in April, so get ready to play in the retro event.
I thought I wait one week this time to play my 12 games and not 3 days and so on. And now I can't do it because there is no OCS.
There is no OCS, okay. But again, we're gonna have a 122 player registered for the retro event. So I'm excited to play in that myself. It's gonna be a fun time.
I did not sign up, but that's a very impressive number of registrants.
Right? Okay, if you want to play in some other events, again, online play starts in 2 days. It goes from Friday to Sunday the 11th. So get on and play some online events. We'll let everybody know what you're going to win for playing on that. Again, the NPC is April 23rd to the 25th with the top cut. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be a top 8 or a top 4. It's going to be the following weekend after that. And then May, the OCS will return. We also have the Jawa Brawl starting in June, Nationals in July. Right now, it is scheduled to be in Colorado. We're not sure if it's going to be in Colorado or in online, so we'll see about that. We have another event sometime in August or September. The Euros are going to be scheduled. It's to be determined. Worlds, October 7th through 10th. Again, that is scheduled to be in DC, so that's going to be a fun thing. And then to round out the year, we have local tournament weekend. We also have the Jawa Cup and the Outrider Cup. So a lot of stuff going on in the world of the PC. So, but you know what, guys? You know what time it is?
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. Yep. We got 4 questions today to cover. We got some swing and a miss questions. So our first question of the day. Dillen and or Jokerking will make the OCS playoffs.
It's
Chris.
a hit.
Chris, was,
It's a hit. I think Dylan will make it.
Dylan, do you want to say if it's going to be you, Chris, or both of you?
Both of us. I'm always optimistic. You saw I predicted myself in the final. So why should I bet against myself or any other good player? So I'm think in the last month when everybody already qualified, who is before us, yeah, then we sneak in with a
That's fair.
9-3 or something like that.
I like that mindset. That's
so
good.
I'm going to say it's going
Yeah.
to be a hit, but only one of you are going to make it.
Yeah, and you
probably
always
fair.
bet against me. We know
Yep,
that.
I'm going to bet against you, Dylan.
Yeah.
I have to. So, question 2. Light side is right now is pretty balanced, and we don't need to see Throne Room come back. Dylan, you go first.
So I never liked Throne Room anyway. I never
Okay.
played it, but I think Dark has several really good options at the moment, and I feel like no light side is really where you can say, "Oh yeah, this is tier 1 who can beat every dark side." So
That's fair.
the question was, we need Throne. I don't
Light
think we
side-
need Throne Room, but we need a little Rebel Strike Team helper or something like that. So a swing and a miss.
Okay.
So, two-part question, right?
Kind
so
of.
light side is balanced.
Yes. Is it
I
balanced?
think it needs a little bit of help to get even with dark side right now. So on that
Okay.
part, I would say miss. Does not need TRM. It's a hit. Kill
Okay.
TRM, let it die, and never return.
I'm going to say also a miss. Come on. I like going first in events. I like going first as dark side. I like going first as light side. Let's bring back Throne Room.
So I mean, I'm the same point as Jokerking. So my swing and the miss said that we need Throne Room.
No, you said it's a swing and a miss, so like it's balanced. Correct?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do agree. We need some more helpers for some less fortunate decks. WAP.
No.
On to question number 3.
With a-
Plays
with a
just
chas-
fine with WAP.
You mean with a Justice Errata to get web some helpers where they can cancel all my destinies and I have to drag my low destinies
yes.
instead of my high destinies?
Yeah, why not? Let's bring back some WAP. For dark
no,
side.
No.
For dark side, while everyone is focusing on map and scum, hunt down will be a good choice for the NPC.
I tell you that. The Justice Errata alone would have nerfed Imperial Entanglements enough, in my opinion.
I agree 100%. So, what do you guys think? Hunt down is going to be a good deck for the NPC.
I mean, in the right person's hands, sure. Generally, will it be a good deck choice? I would say swing and a miss.
Tebow?
I say it's a hit because I think the decks which are good against Hunt Down are really bad against Map. Some of them. So
Yeah.
they will maybe not be playing as much. So my Diplo is really bad against Scum and also not so good against Map, but was really good against Hunt Down. And I think there are several decks which are built against Hunt Down, so which won't be played now. So I say it's a hit. I won't play it. I won't play it, but it's a hit.
You know, I like Hunt Down right now. I do, with everybody focusing on, like I said, map and scum and everything. So I think, again, like Timo said, the decks that are good against map and scum are bad against Hunt Down. So it's kind of, I like it. There's a little bit of a paper, scissors, rock there. Okay, moving on. We got one last question for tonight. Someone who was not a top 20 player during Premier to Death Star 2 when it was being played will win the retro event. So we're talking like no Brian Hunter, no Justin Desai, no Bastion. Like old school top end players like Matt Sokol, somebody new will win the retro event.
Who? You first?
Go ahead.
Chris?
Go ahead.
Me first? Okay.
Yep.
I think swing and a miss. I think somebody like Bastion will win.
Okay.
And the only chance he would not qualify is that he doesn't get in his 10 games, but the period is too long for that. I think one of them will make it. So swing and a miss.
I don't know enough about this format to say with confidence. I hope that it's a hit. So that's what I'll go with, is my hope.
I'm gonna say it's a hit. I think it's gonna be somebody like the Timo. Like, I know you've been playing a lot of the Premier to Death Star. You haven't been playing any. Oh, you're not playing in the.
A little bit. But
like somebody like a Justin
I
Brand.
played enough to know that I won't win.
I'm gonna say this, like somebody who I know who's been putting a lot of work with the Premier to Death Star 2 event has been Justin Miyashio. Like JagTech has put a lot of work with this event, so I know he got all of his OCS games out of the way last month. And was just like, I'm going to focus on this Premier to Death Star 2 event. So watch out for Justin.
If you would have made a retro event Premier New Hope sealed, then I would say Dillen's going to win it. Because check out the sealed league.
No,
who's at the top?
Doesn't count.
With 25-4.
Doesn't count. Not a real thing. Okay, so that is all we have for Swing and a Miss today. But so let's go into next month's deck building challenge. So last month, really quick. Again, we asked people to battle, a lot of battle, and we only had 2 people enter. Yeah, 2 people. That's it. I thought this would be like something fun, you know, a lot of people would be into. No, only 2 people entered. JagTech.
Yeah, what?
And
I mean,
Solid
with only
Snack.
one battleground if on the non-battleground sides, only one battleground, there's only one fight a turn. Yeah.
Well,
So
still, but I mean, so
D&D's fault.
JagTech entered with 1 battle, so he played a Diplo deck, so that's fair. And Solid Snack entered with Combat, a deck that normally doesn't battle a lot. And he was able to battle twice. So, you know what? Just because
Twice.
he was
2
able
battles.
to 2 battles in a turn. So, I'm going to say this: you both get the prize because you're the only 2 who have entered last month, a whole month, and only 2 people signed up for a deck building challenge. I don't know. Like, what do I have to do?
So where is my prize? I won the Joe Olsen challenge.
I know you did, and I'm working on that. I have an announcement coming up on that. Do not worry. So, the prizes, I'm going to say this, are about to get so much better and bigger.
Wow.
Yeah. And that announcement will come out next week.
Isn't there a song? It's
What a
better
tease.
and bigger.
Next week. Yeah, I'm going to tease you guys. I can only give away 1 thing a week. This week I'm giving free entrance to the NPC.
That's a good prize.
Yeah. Now, on to April's deck building challenge. Really quick. April, Matt Lutz came up with the idea. See who could put the most number of aliens on the table at one time.
I love this challenge.
Do not have to be the same alien. So, say if you want to have 12 Jawas on the table, you can have 12 Jawas on the table. Go crazy. And again, I'm opening up to any league. As long as it is not an open format league or game, this is open. So everything from like the Premier to Death Star 2, Limited, Open, any of the open leagues. Like as long as it is a league on GEMP, you can enter. And again, Bill Kafer came on and asking if it's different aliens. No. Play as many Jawas as you want. So again, our deck building challenge is the player with the most aliens on the table at one time. So again, we need to have a screenshot saying, okay, I had 10 aliens on the table at once. You need that's all. As long as it's not casual. That's all. No
I
casual.
mean,
need to play-
Javas are not bad. They're Destiny 3, so I
Yeah, 100%.
Play some
And-
Sabak to win some opponents' aliens too.
Yeah, this is an easy challenge, people. I could not be making these any easier. I want more than 2 people entered into this month.
I'll see if I can find any dark side decks that play aliens.
Really?
can. You said it, and I thought about it in a meta with Court and CCG.
Yeah,
That's not that difficult.
that isn't that difficult for you, man.
Can
Yeah.
even be an OCS game.
Yeah. Well, we can't do OCS this month for some silly reason.
True.
Okay, so are you guys ready?
Yes.
So we're gonna do, because you both are my special guests, you both are gonna have a chance to win the prize. Again, I'm gonna be retroactive with the prizes after the announcements and everything, so you guys will have a chance to win this awesome, cool prize. Now, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be the lore challenge. I'm either going to be giving you the type of card or the set. You can tell me which one you want. You both have to agree on it, and then you both get a guess. If one of you is correct, you both win. Are you guys?
I have
are
no
you ready?
confidence at all
Are you ready?
in this game, but I'm ready.
Sure.
Your lore challenge is leader.
Oh boy.
I'm joking. It's April 1st, guys. Come on, I got to joke around with you.
That is true.
I would have said this Thrawn, this other Thrawn guy, which I can't pronounce.
Well,
the young one.
That would have been Chiss leader. Okay,
Okay.
your lore challenge is you don't know how hard I found it signing the order to terminate your life. Again, do you want the set or the type? And you both
What do
have
you
to
think?
agree on it.
I would say the set or the type. Yeah, say you joke, Chris.
Chris, don't
What do
cheat.
you want?
Yep, I want to see those hands, people.
I mean, I feel like it's probably a dark side interrupt, and probably from like Premiere or New Hope. Let's go set, I guess.
Okay, you're set. Special edition.
All right. Well, so much for that then.
So what was again?
Your lore challenge is you don't know how hard I found it signing the order to terminate your life.
All right.
Hunt
So
down?
something with Tarkin and Leia.
Doesn't have,
it's
doesn't have the lore.
Let's see. What would be a special edition card with that?
If we're both wrong,
If you're both wrong, you get nothing. If one of you is right, you get it.
I have absolutely
Sure.
no idea.
Timo, you sure you don't want to go first?
It's hard for me to find a name of a card out of special edition because I never know the names of the card.
That's fair.
It's such a big set. Is kind of the other thing.
It is.
I will embarrass myself. You go first now.
Chris, you go first. You're the winner.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, no.
I'm just-
Timo has to go first because you are the winner of the GEMPC.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
Timo,
I like that.
you give it
Any
first.
special edition card on my poster?
I like that. He's looking at his poster.
But Objective doesn't have a law.
Yeah.
I say this Vader, Joke Vader.
Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith.
That's the one
Okay.
I take.
Yeah,
Chris?
I got no guesses. I can't think of any special
You
edition
can't?
card that would have been from that.
Come on, I
frame.
need one guess. That's all.
No, I don't even know if I have a guess. Not from special edition. It'd be pretty bad.
There are
Just give me a
some
card.
Javas in special edition.
Maybe
stumped
you'll
me.
get it.
Oh, really?
Maybe you'll get it.
Okay. Let's go with Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper. Just Stormtrooper.
Isn't that a premiere
I
card?
know.
No.
No.
I'm
All
sorry,
they
I'm
know
sorry.
is killing in white uniforms.
I'm sorry, guys. Your card for the lore challenge was Tarkin's Bounty.
Oh, man.
Come on, I had to do it one time.
Your card.
That is true. That's, you know what? I should have picked the card type. That would have made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Sorry, Timo. I let us down.
No problem.
Bounty, come on. Okay, everybody.
Don't tell us what we didn't win.
Okay. Is everyone ready? If you're in the chat, please post. If you are in the chat, please say here.
Here.
You guys count too.
Here.
Yeah, just type in the chat like your name saying here. There you go. Like that. Exactly what Justin did. Because I'm going to bring up a random number generator. And if you're paying attention,
it's one?
you will win free entry to the NPC.
I like Justin's chances of pulling this off.
So we count 2, but I'm not in the chat. Can you give me the last number?
You'll be number 2. Chris, you're
Oh.
number 3. Kiss My Wookie is 4.
So
No.
I didn't tell my wife anyway that it costs money. If I get it back, it would be nice. Like in Worlds.
If you're,
but
you
I
know
did
what?
get
We
it
don't have
back
enough people
from
so
Road to
this
Worlds.
is why.
If I win, I assume it's okay to bequeath that onto someone who is not
No.
registered.
If you win, you're going to get your money back.
Oh, I
Anybody
can't
else?
Give it as a
Last
gift?
minute entries. Okay, I'm going to start a clock.
So what are you drinking here, Chris? We can talk
Oh,
while
this is
he's...
yeah.
Okay,
This is
Stimpy,
a
you're number
Oregon
5.
beer. It's an IPA.
Beer.
Yeah. They have beer in Europe, don't they?
I didn't know they have something in America like that, because in Germany we have a lot of beer.
7.
But I'm not a
is-
big of a drinker. I only drink if
Okay,
there are some
last
people around
seconds.
us.
I'm waiting until 6:55.
Oh, we got a few more people now.
We don't know the sports too you have in the background here, Chris.
Okay, so
Oh, American football. You
Don't
don't
know
have
what that
NFL
is.
Europe anymore? Is that all gone? No more?
If there ever was an NFL Europe, nobody knew it.
They play, I think, at least one game a year in London. At least they did
yeah,
before COVID.
Okay.
I think they're doing it again this year.
Probably everybody who's playing it is from America and yeah, in the army or something like that in Germany.
That's
So
probably
again,
true.
if you're here, just type in the chat saying that you're here or you want to enter. So again, if you're in the chat and you want to enter for free entrance to the NPC, say that you are here and you're paying attention.
So is it okay if we talk here, Dan, or
Oh yeah, you guys are
you
fine.
need
I
to
still got a
concentrate?
minute. I got 1 minute left.
Okay. So tell. No. My new deck idea. I could talk about my new deck idea.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Oh, yeah.
what dex ideas
Yeah.
are you guys working
I
with
was
now?
so
that-
excited making a private table with Chris Menzel and thought, hey, I have this idea. Nobody had done it before. And then I played and he said, there were several people who done it before. And I thought, oh. Man.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience. I guess while we're waiting, I'll just give a shout out
Fambas in
to,
Old Allies.
Yeah.
Consolidating on the
Okay.
2/2 with Energy Shield and Fambas.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
So we got a question.
I'll give a shout out.
Who's planning on
to-
Persona replacing Ray and Old Allies to get Jedi Ray on the table?
Is that a thing?
That's what Justin's asking in the chat.
Well, I think I'd rather have Ray in space anyway.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with that.
I mean, the EPP is good, but the pull turn 1 from the use pile is also really strong, and you want to have
Okay.
ability 7 in space against Cord. So yeah, I think the space ray.
Okay. We only have 7 people signed up for this. So what I'm going to do is, you can see that I now have a random number generator created by Google. So I'm going to put the max entrances to... Sorry.
Dan just told me
7.
that I woke up at night for 7 people.
Okay, so I'm going to
Crazy.
spin this 7 times, and then on number 8 is going to be the winner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, your winner for the free entrance to the NPC is Justin.
Congrats.
JagTech, you get to play for free.
Ah,
Let's see, were you entered into the NPC? You're already entered, so I will get Chris Gogolin to reimburse you. If he doesn't,
nice.
let me yell at him. So, okay, everybody. So thanks to everybody who watched tonight. Justin, again, congrats on getting free entrance to the NPC. Again, I want to thank Chris and Timo. Timo especially for staying up until 3 a.m. to come on tonight. Hopefully your wife doesn't kill you tomorrow. And
we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. So again, thanks to everybody who watched. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, I'm going to get Jared Napolitano on, our new marketing advocate. We'll talk about some of the stuff that he's working on as well. And then remember, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a live show with Bill Kafer and I believe Chris Gogolin and maybe Greg Shaw with the reveal of your NPC bracket. So again, everybody, good night. Take care, and we'll see everybody next week.